be like this kind of buildup of pressure escaping from the top of the portal, and almost like a volcanic eruption, there's a large mass of energy that flings upward, and that staticky feeling gets much more intense, and then all of a sudden feel a disconnect, and the Vision ceases, and you feel almost like it was like shut off, like removed from the ability to be able to use.
Uh, I would probably let out a small gasp, and Emus, my Mr. Vision, it stopped working. It was just like it was cut off. An energy surge happened, and then it cut off.
When you say energy surge, what's your passive perception?
It
Is it above a
is
15?
18. Yeah.
You catch one of the wizards over here, like his head turns and like looks at you, hearing the knowledge that energy escaped, and he's unable to do anything. He has to remain casting, but he definitely like looks over, cued in on your conversation.
They're doing something to this.
What are you guys doing?
Uh, I think we've done all we can for now, calling the headmaster, because we don't really have any like super magically adept people.
I know you're fucking with it, but I don't know enough to stop you.
I mean, Calamity just wants to knock him out. So when I go talk to the boy Bazoit, I think she might have some more adept arcana. She could ascertain more.
I don't think I do. I have no arcana.
What? How are
Yeah,
you a
I
magical
think
person?
it's all in my charisma.
Is
I think
anybody good at magic?
Boogie.
As you guys gather up and begin kind of frantically whispering to each other, this wizard turns and, for a moment, breaking the incantation, everything's fine, don't worry. And then he turns and begins casting again. There's like a brief gap in this energy that he's setting up to the top of the portal. Um, and when he like that during that gap, it seems like the energy. Well, you never mind. You don't have your mission vision, so it just connects again. Psych.
Wait, during that gap though. Wait, go back. During that gap, did we feel like the energy was not escaping as much? Did we feel like the portal started to close? What did we feel in that second?
Roll an Arcana check.
I hate you. Not really, but
I don't know.
oh
Just
yeah,
try to DM for my friends now. I need therapy.
15.
um. So it felt like the energy didn't necessarily increase or decrease, but it seemed like rather than being directed a certain way, it was more dispersed everywhere. Like you felt like it was more coming towards your direction rather than being kind of forced upward and elsewhere.
Hmm.
Mm.
I don't really hate you, Michael. I love you.
Me too. All right, what are you
Well,
guys doing?
that was a good observation that Bazoid had just then.
If no one has anything else to do with the portal, I guess Emus will start heading back towards the Mister Tower. Real quick, I remember that the estate we were gonna have the party at the estate, but there was a reason that it couldn't be held there.
So now it's at Helm's Temple.
I got you. What was the reason why it couldn't be held at this estate?
Not enough room. It had a bunch of statues and other clutter.
Gotcha.
Yep.
Maybe we should head over to Helm's Temple and see how things are going there. Or we could do some shopping. But since we have some time, we have a lot of gold to spend.
That's true.
You guys feel specks of rain start falling and then picking up. And now not a super heavy rain, but definitely a rain starts.
Why don't we head over to that shop where that shopkeeper invited us in to peruse his wares?
Okay.
That sounds good.
I would
I,
change
like,
my
start-
outfit to a raincoat.
Start walking off in that direction, but I'm still like, even when I was saying it, I was like head towards the portal. Just
I
really
like the
staring it down.
raisins.
All right, as you guys round the corner, you see a glow from inside Schweriken's shop here.
Oh. When I'm this far away, does my Mr. Vision work?
So, as you go to activate your Mr. Vision, calling on the energy, you don't feel any kind of magic working at all.
Okay.
The spell we've collapsed more?
Yeah, the fact that felt like that, I am going to cast Prestidigitation and warm up one of my shoes.
Give me one moment. Yeah, as you get ready to cast your cantrip, you feel no magical energy surge through your body.
Oh.
Wow.
So then did my outfit even change, or am I in just plain, I think, studded leather armor?
As you look down, it appears like your gear has been unaffected.
Okay.
So, guys, I can't even cast a cantrip right now.
Hemus is going to go ahead and try to cast light on a random rock at his feet.
And as you do so, it's nothing. There's no magical energy. It doesn't feel like anything is being consumed of you, any kind of anything. It feels almost like you're just wanting to do it and it's not happening.
I mean, what do we do? Do we? I still think we can't do anything until the headmaster gets here, because we tried to shout him out earlier.
In the distance, coming from the northeast, the direction of the forest that the instructors head off to, there's this flash of light up in the dark clouds in the distance, and then a thunderclap echoes out through the valley.
Someone take the reins here, because I have no idea what to do.
I'm
MC?
running into this shop real quick.
Okay.
As you guys come in, water dripping now, soaking your clothes, drips onto this floor, and you're greeted immediately with a dry rag to the face. Shuriken throws a towel at you guys as you walk in.
Thank
Don't
you.
get to my floors, vet! And he throws
All
a
right,
towel.
all right.
And as Bazoit comes in from the back, he goes, "Shut that door behind you." And his face now beat red at having to say what he's about to say. He closes his eyes and he takes his breath and he says, "So, as I was saying, look around the shop and anything you want is yours."
He's
seeming very
unruly.
frustrated that he doesn't want to part with his wares.
All right, well, take a
I mean,
look around.
I'm willing to purchase at no offense.
His face gets a little less red, and he looks down, and his eyes shift from left to right, and a slight grin crosses his face, and then his face gets really red again, and he kind of scours. No, you saved the town. It is only polite.
50%.
Roll. Actually, not. Don't even roll. He's gonna. I think he's gonna agree to that. Yeah. Schwegerkin's gonna look at you and say, "For you or everyone."
I'm willing to pay.
God, why are you guys so willing to give to jump at not getting free snow?
Because we came here and we ended up saving the town, but we don't want to do it at the behest of the townspeople losing their wares. I mean, it's not their fault this happened to their town.
That is a valid point. She has a. That is. She's smart.
At hearing smart, I turn around and smile and puff my chest out a little bit.
How about 50% off one item each, and then full price for any other item after?
He's kind of, as you're talking at him, he's kind of looking at you and wincing when you arched your chest forward and like puffed out. He like winces and closes like one eye and looks at you. And he goes, "Careful, aren't you going to tear? It can't. I mean, the stitches cannot hold that much. Take it easy."
I
Me?
kind of slink back a little bit
Oh,
and
her.
unpuff my chest.
And he goes, we do have healing potions if you need,
Yes, yes, yes. I would love a healing potion.
but for 50% off, yeah?
I'm good with my captain's orders over here. 50% off of one item and anything else we choose, full price.
One item each.
What is
Yes.
Boogie's and Emus's, like, what's the look on their face right now with this going on?
Emus is perusing this table of what appears to be archery equipment, and is ignoring the conversation.
I'm just kind of smiling, and my body language is generally like pointed towards Calamacy, but I'm just listening to everybody.
He looks around and he goes, "Let's meet halfway. Half off everything in the store. Everything."
Sounds good to me.
Okay.
And his
Thank
face
you.
reddens a little bit. Yeah, just if you need help with anything, bring it to the counter, let him know.
Thank you. I am also interested in arrows. I only have 7 after all of the fighting we've done.
I would
So
like
as you
to know what
guys-
kind of magical items you have.
All sorts, you're going to need me to be more specific.
Oh, I really need a bow.
Let me think on this.
Yeah, Boogie, you should look at getting some like oversized longbows if you have the extra pull with your arms. Really draw a string really far back.
Just impale them with
Yeah.
50 cal arrows.
All right, so as you guys are kind of perusing the arrow section, a few of the arrows would probably catch your eyes. Namely, I'm pulling up my list, but the one I can remember off the top of my head is there's an arrow that appears to have it looks to be like an elven chain, like a mithril chain wrapped very finely spaced out from the tip of the arrow down the shaft to where the feather is. And it appears to be like a very strong chain, and the way it gleams, it seems to be a little unusual.
Ooh, I want to pick one up and examine it.
So What are you trying to derive from it? It looks to be from like elven design, just by like first glance.
Well, I'm going to examine the craftsmanship of it. Does it seem as good as it actually looks, or is it seem to be kind of more decorative? And then as I'm examining it, I'm just going to ask, "Hey, what can you tell me about these arrows?"
Oh, yeah, that one is a bit expensive, but his face reddens. Everything is half off. So that is an arrow of. He squints his eyes and he drops down one of his little monocles so he can see further across the room. Oh, what don't be lazy, bring it to the counter. Ah, good choice, yes. That is an arrow of binding.
Oh, interesting.
It has a long range, though limited, but it definitely helps when you have foes who don't want to land, yeah?
Is it does it happen to have multiple uses?
If you don't break it, what are you, a savage? Be gentle to the items.
I'm gonna kind of raise my bow up. Oh no, I'm no savage when it comes to arrows, good sir.
And his eyes glisten. Are you looking to sell?
Sell this? No, I couldn't part with this thing ever.
That's his baby.
Everything has a price.
It would cost you like your entire shop.
He narrows his eyes. He opens his mouth to say something and then doesn't. He just goes back to doing what he's doing. He's flipping through some paperwork on his desk.
So how many arrows of binding does he have here?
So there are 3 arrows of binding on the table.
Hmm. Do you have any more of these arrows in the back in storage or anything?
What, do you think they grow on trees or something? No, those are very expensive, exclusive arrows. They were forged in Commando herself, okay? Show some respect. He might have to pay full price, he says as he starts flipping through his papers.
What a cheeky little guy.
What's everyone else looking for or looking at?
I'm gonna leave him to find the specialty arrows and ask him if he has any. What's the type of swords? Finesse type swords that maybe are magical.
Like a rapier or short sword?
Yeah, primarily more rapier.
Give me a second.
Or anything that benefits from critical chance isn't the correct word for this though. I don't know what you would call it in anything but game.
You're basically asking for a sword that does something with crits.
Yes.
Thanks for a second. No. And he seems hesitant to say no, but he's gonna say no. And probably doesn't seem wholly honest. Seems like he's hiding something.
I would be possibly willing to pay full price if you do have something of that nature.
Okay. I don't think you could afford it.
Won't know until I know the price.
And he's going to grab a piece of paper and he's going to write down the price of this object. Second. Sorry, guys. Sorry. And he slides you a piece of paper. And on that piece of paper is written 500, comma 000
Oh shit.
gold pieces.
Wait,
You're
how much
right.
was that?
Half a
500.
million gold.
Yeah. Yeah. You're right. I can't afford it.
And he frowns. I'm afraid no one ever will.
Emus is going to chime up. Well, what's the point of selling an item that no one will ever be able to afford?
Exactly.
Because someday, sometimes, somebody may come across that can't afford it.
He says, "Is I cannot let it go for some ordinary price. It is legendary."
Even
Here.
half off.
He
We don't
walks
have that
over
kind of
and he
money.
starts drawing the curtains around the shop. And he's going to disappear for a little bit, heading back into a storehouse that he has. And he's going to be gone for about a minute. And when he returns, he lays on the table this beautifully crafted, like hard leather case wrapped up in these like super fine wraps. Like it looks like someone put a lot of time and effort and resources into just the casing of the sword. And when he opens it, this is what you guys see inside.
In the 7 stars.
Ooh, it's kind of evil looking.
Yeah, it does. It looks like dragon claws.
Yeah, it does. You're right.
Do you know if this is?
I do not. I don't believe.
This is the legendary
Is
Volcal
that
sword.
is that
Mm,
the sword of my dream?
no. That one is for sure Z's in the belly of an ancient red dragon girl. Quit dreaming. But the Vorpal sword.
And as you look at it, it almost seems like the blade itself is like shimmering with this kind of magical energy about it. The hilt seeming more solid, but the blade itself seems heavily enchanted.
Phew.
So the magic's working in here.
Works on items from what we can tell, but we can't cast anything.
Mm.
Did you guys say that out loud? Yeah, I'd imagine.
I said what I said out loud.
I did too.
He raises an eyebrow. What do you mean you cannot cast anything? Raising an eyebrow in like skepticism. And he's going to hold up his fingers and he snaps his fingers. And then his eyebrows raise out of like a little bit of panic. Why is this? What's going on? And he snaps kind of frantically.
It has to do with the darn mages and that freaking portal out in the roadway. They're messing with it, and it's interrupting the flow of magic around here.
But if we do not have magic, how do they? How could they be with the portal if they have no magic?
And
That's
I
a
look
good
over
question.
at I look over at
He immediately
Cal.
starts shutting while you guys are talking. He's like shutting the case and getting everything wrapped up again. He seems like on a different track now mentally.
That is fair. What if they continue to act like they could cast while we were walking away?
Do you have anything I could borrow to fight a demon?
He looks up, distracted from his the train that he was on. As a weapon, no. I do think I have some tinctures and things that might help.
Okay, that's not exactly borrow. I think that might be a smart purchase, though. Let's hurry.
And he's going to rummage, pulling out a crate of 8 inside this kind of like straw crate. There's 8 vials inside the crate, and 4 of the vials he pulls out and sets them. They have like this clear liquid within, um, and the other potions are kind of like this more deepish purple blue color. He puts those ones back under the counter and puts the 4 clear ones and nods at you. Ah, this is the purest holy water.
Mm.
Mm. I'm gonna look at Cal and say, shall I just send the portal away?
I don't think it'll work like that. It's a tear in that spot, not like a tangible object that could be dropped down.
Mm.
As he's turning to put the item away, he turns and looks back directly at Boogie and pulls down his monocle again and begins kind of like appraising Boogie up and down.
I reach for one of the potions. So, if we throw this at a demon, it'll really hurt it.
And as he reaches down to like grab one of the vials at you and holds it out for you to grab, and as you reach out, he like turns and is examining like your arm muscle and your like physical characteristics, and he just nods without answering, still like observing.
What were the blue vials?
I put it in a pocket.
Ignoring Bezoit, he's going to say, I have something else that might be of use for you. If you're willing to pay the price, it is another of my special items.
Okay, I'm interested. I'm worried about that portal, though.
I think we all are. It's
He shakes his head.
minds.
Ah, yes, of course. Money can wait. Excuse no, I'm sorry. Gold orientated and all. Yes, that is a very good point, though. He turns and looks at Bezoit and says, the healing potions I mentioned. Ah. And then he turns and kind of just walks away, taking
I'm gonna
the.
say, wait. I would like those healing potions. And what exactly is up with that sword? What's the deal with that? How much does that cost?
And he takes it and hides it behind himself, and the case like goes up over his head, and he's like putting it behind his back, and he goes, so captain said you could not afford it.
Costs
Oh,
$500,000, buddy. We can't
I
afford it.
thought those were arrows that you were asking about.
No.
That was me.
Oh, I'm sorry. My misunderstanding. I would like those healing potions, though.
The arrows are 20 gold apiece.
Emus is going to kind of shout, still looking at all the archery stuff. Sold.
And how much are those potions?
How many?
All 4, please.
Half off? That is,
We'll
he
see.
pulls out of his vest a little abacus. Starts tick, tick. I actually have to do a calculator math. 1 second. For all 4, 300 gold.
And how much life does this restore or health?
He shrugs. How would I know? I've not drank one. It's good
Well, they're
quality,
healing.
trust me.
And that's half off.
Yeah. It's very expensive. It's not like you can just mix any herb to make a healing potion, you know? You have to enchant the ingredients first. Very exclusive. High
I am
price.
going to pull out 400 gold and hand it to him.
Ah, thank you. Is the extra for the holy potions, holy water, I assume?
No, I'm only paying for the healing potions. The extras for you and taking your time to help us.
He looks up at you and he goes, well, that is appreciated, but a gnome does not take charity. Please, take the holy
It's not-
water.
But I thought
Puts it in his pouch.
Boogie was taking it.
Yeah, he's letting you buy it for Boogie.
I look
And
over at Boogie and I'm like, "Are you willing to pay 100 for this holy water?"
Is that what that costs?
Yeah, for the 4 vials of holy water, it's 25 gold each.
Sir,
Okay.
sir, I've got an item that I'm looking for. I'm gonna kind of look down at my boots. My boots are well worn from traveling long on the road. I was looking to maybe replace them with something a bit more comfortier, something a little better.
mm. Yeah, I just got a couple from some Underdog Travels recently.
Ooh, exotic boots, even better.
Yeah. Well, the caveat is that they do wear out in the sunlight a little, so just be careful. And he's going to reach down, digging through some rummage, and he pulls out some still kind of stinky, uncleaned, kind of still in like a crate that came in, like he bought but hasn't cleaned and got it set up yet. And there are boots of spider walking. These kind of really dark leathered boots with this kind of reddish tone leather that doesn't seem to come from the surface world.
Ooh, these look really interesting. What do they do?
Uh, I don't want to put them on and show you, but you're free to do so. You can put them on and walk up the wall, walk on the ceiling, as if it's all the ground.
Oh, that sounds really cool. Yeah,
And half off says
yeah.
400 gold.
I'm gonna pick them up and examine them. Does it look like they'd fit me well?
Um, they look big, but so here's how things kind of work in my world. I don't know how it works in like traditional Forgotten Realms, but within a certain size, enchanted items that are magical are going to
Always fit.
form to the whoever is attuned to them kind of deal.
Gotcha. Um, do they look worn, like they have been used, or do they look new?
They look like they were taken off of a dead drow.
Gotcha. You said half off for 400 gold, right?
Yeah.
Um, I'm gonna kind of examine them and um, kind of frown a little bit and say, "Well, I don't know. It seems kind of steep for boots that were worn by someone else. Maybe if you could clean them up for me."
Okay. And I could clean them up and make a kind of package deal, bundle them together for let's say 700 gold. I give you the boots and he reaches down and pulls out from that same crate a rather large belt that looks like it might have been taken off the waist of a giant. That looks like this.
Am I able to see the portal out of this window?
No, there's a big stone wall outside.
Okay. I want to take a peek at that portal. I say that out loud. I go to open the door and go over towards the wall to look at it.
Does that happen to be built of hill giant strength? Can I question the gnome?
And he raises an eyebrow. Ah, you have the eye of an appraiser, I see. This is what the boots look like, by the way.
I bet you a Boogie or Brazoit would really like that belt.
Package deal. 700 and I'll call it 700 even. I'll give you 50 gold discount.
Can I roll an insight check to see if my gut tells me that's a good deal or not?
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, sorry, Boogie. I just saw your thing.
What does that belt do?
If I understand, if I think it is what I think it is, it just increases your strength. I rolled a 20 on my insight.
It does appear that he is giving you half off deals. It's kind of iffy because like He's giving you half off of, like, if they were new, like if they were in like excellent condition, kind of deal.
Yeah.
At this distance, does the portal still have the guys around it thinking that they're casting?
So with your enormous body and long arms, you're able to crawl up there. The portal is still active, and you still see the casters chanting and the magic still connecting to the portal from the casters.
Okay.
As you're looking at that, Clamsy like leans forward, lurching into you, and as you look over at her, you can see her eyes have this like bluish light emanating from them, like this eh, more like an indigo, I think would be a better color for it. And she's gonna be like that for a bit, and she kind of just like falls over, leaning into your shoulder.
uh, hmm. Uh, I'm gonna kind of turn towards her, kind of mumble, Clemsy, you okay?
I don't know.
So you're unable to communicate with him. You can't hear him from your vision, Clamsy. You're currently from like the perspective that you're in. It doesn't feel like your body. You feel like you're seeing from someone else's perspective. You're seeing out of just your left eye. The right eye seems to be heavily wrapped, and you feel like there's like bandages all over your body. And you're laying down on this bed, and you're in this kind of like obsidian and icy, some large room, and you can see these hazy figures. One with those like kind of long, feathery purple gown of the Raven Queen, and another blurry figure that seems to have more of like a huntress kind of appearance about her. A female walks down some stairs into the room, the two figures kind of looking at the body, you laying on the table, and you can hear in the distance the sound of a female asking the Raven Queen. Um, and she says, it's kind of hard to hear, but you hear, "Milady, the Chosen is asking if the gift that she received, would it?" And then it's kind of like muffled out and hard to hear. And the Raven Queen looks at her and says, "No." And the Raven, or the female, bows and walks out. And once she's good and down, you can hear her footsteps like going down the hall. The kind of huntress-esque dressed female turns to the Raven Queen and says, "Why would you lie to her?" And the Raven Queen turns and says, "If I'm going to lose her soul, why should she benefit from my gifts?" And your vision cuts back to yourself in this shop.
With Emus in your
Ah.
face, like, hey, are you okay? Clemsy, what's wrong?
I have to get to the tower now. I need to look at that map.
Okay.
I have to type in Martrell's name. I have to see if he's gonna die before I lose this tablet.
And then Emus is gonna go ahead and throw, hastily counting, so not being very accurate. He's gonna probably throw down like 720 gold pieces on the counter.
As you throw it down, with your passive perception, he's counting
Where?
super quickly. You get the feeling that he knows that you overpaid a little bit and doesn't say anything. And he goes, "Okay, hurry along." Usher
And then
you out of the store.
I'm gonna grab the boots, the belt, and any potions that are still on the counter and run out.
Okay, so let's write this down. We got belt of hill giant strength, boots
With the fur,
of spider climb,
boots with the webs.
4 vials of pure holy water, and 4 healing potions. All right.
And I finally
You
have some
guys
free
run
space in
off?
my pockets.
I grabbed one of those vials of holy water.
All right. So, Clamsy, as you're running, getting soaked, passing the portal, of them still being able to enchant and everything, you run past, get to the tower. Agatha is currently using the map, and it appears like she's zoomed in on the Moonshay Isles. And there appears to be like a pinging going on from the little stronghold there that's kind of making a gradual progression towards the front of the stronghold, like towards the entrance. As you run in, she turns to you and says, I found the pendant.
You did great. Please remember where that is.
God, this town is so fucking big.
So I would want to go to the Shade Enclave.
Took me a long time to make. I patched together so many people's work.
I
So-
lost me, Michael. I threw myself up in the air.
Okay.
I want to go to the tower with Cal.
Trying to find you. You're upstairs in Schvergiken's house. Okay. You're going to the tower, you said?
Yes.
Okay. So you run up. Y'all shortly behind Clamsy, maybe 50 feet behind her. What are you doing? You want to zoom in on the Shade Enclave?
Yeah, because that's where the file was shown. The phylactery down in the basement of that thing.
Yeah. So as the map readjusts, glows, changes, it zooms in almost kind of like Google Earth over, like zooming in over Selgaunt. And just on the perimeter of Selgaunt is the floating Shade Enclave.
All right, and then I would say Martrell's. What is his full name? It's such a mouthful. Sam Master Shagular's phylactery. I wanted to zoom in on that specifically.
And as it does, it glows and then zooms in towards the base of the floating, like the top of the mountain that was cut off has been like hollowed out, and there's corridors and tunnels throughout the Shade Enclave. And somewhere in the heart of that system is a chamber where the phylactery is located.
And I'm gonna try and see if the tablet will appear in front of me still.
Okay. At this moment, it does.
Okay, I'm gonna start chiseling in Sam Master Shagular.
By the way, Agatha turns as you guys are doing this, waves a prestidigitation, and begins drying off your guys' clothes for you, able to cast her magic.
Why can't we access our
Nice.
magic?
Maybe we can in here.
As the tablet appears before you, you're etching in Sam Master Stargrillier.
Yes.
Okay. Lightning in the distance strikes. The final strike of your chisel, finishing off his name, and the tablet, as soon as you're done finishing that last letter of his name, the tablet like violently rips away from you into the center of the room, floating, spinning kind of violently, and then horizontally laying, and you can see coming from the stone this imprint as if like the stone was rubber and Sam Master was shoving his face through. You see this like wailing face. And this energy appears to accumulate. But in that moment, it's like him trying to escape from that tablet. There's a burst of light, like the stone cracks, and there's this very intense radiant light that explodes. I need everyone to make a dexterity saving throw.
What
Sorry,
did you
guys.
just do?
Try to kill Sam Master before I lose my warlock powers, possibly.
Well, I rolled a nat one, and
Oh
So
yeah.
bad
14.
news. I can't get to my character sheet right now.
I rolled a 15.
Well, you're I remember that your dexterity saving throw is your best one.
Yeah, I'm just getting back in. They're having like network problems. So
31 for me, nat 20 plus 11.
You could probably figure it out just by yourself right now. You've got a 5 proficiency bonus, and
I'm loading in. I'm good.
Tammy rolls a 7. Okay, he does good. Celatami rolls a 21,
nice.
and Agatha rolls an 18.
Okay, I can't get to my character. I had a dexterity of 20, so that would give me a plus of
5.
okay, and then I was also it's a saving throw, so I'd be proficient in it. So that'd be another +2, right? So 7.
I think you have a proficiency bonus higher of 2, don't you?
Is it like 3?
No, our proficiency bonus is currently, what level are you?
I think
It's
5 for you
5.
guys.
Yeah, plus
Oh.
5.
So it'd be 10, so 11 for me.
So everyone except Celatami and Calamity fails the saving throw. As this combination of shrapnel from the tablet and this intense magical energy of radiant light comes pouring out. Second. Doing 74 radiant damage
Holy
to
jeez.
those who failed and half that to those who succeeded. There's this massive.
I'm resistant to radiant damage.
Okay, so you're gonna take half of 74. You're gonna take 37. Oh shit! Sorry, 1 second. I need to roll the shrapnel damage
74 was the base damage
for the radiant.
for people that passed.
For people
No.
that passed. No. Pass is half that damage, and then 12
Okay.
piercing damage from the shrapnel. So 6 of that will be for those who succeeded. Yeah. Okay. So Tammy is unconscious on the floor, got hurled back against the wall. Celatami is in pretty rough shape, looking pretty bad. And Agatha Agatha's actually not super bad, but she's bleeding, dripping out of her mouth, panting, kind of like kind of deal, like wringing out her ears from the explosion.
Mop.
And you guys hear Carmina come running out. What the hell happened?
I would be looking at the map at the dot. I want confirmation whether or not that dot disappeared.
So the spell on the floor is currently no longer active after that explosion.
Then
You're
I
welcome
would,
to try to reactivate it.
yep, I would try to reactivate it, ignoring anything being said at me.
So as it activates, you guys watch Calamity hyperfocus, re-zooming in on the Shade Enclave, and searching for, I'm assuming, the phylactery of Sandmaster Chargalier.
Yes.
And it doesn't appear to exist. It cannot be found.
Okay.
So I'm a bit relieved when I see that over my shoulder. I'm trying to tend to these guys.
That would be my next thing as well. But I figure there's going to be time in between.
So she failed her first death saving throw. One second. Okay. As you guys kind of exist in this moment of what just happened, you kind of hear Tatsia hollering out, "Hey! Hey!" and Z reappears on your shoulder, Clamsy. The tablet appears to be completely gone, no evidence of it at all. And Z appears looking around, examining the room, kind of confused at people's damage. And she turns and looks at you and says, "My lady, I have bad news."
I saw the conversation. She lied.
Her eyes look at you in confusion and she looks left and right. And there's like this weird moment of calculation. And she's going to jump off your shoulder and disappear back into Shadowfell.
So, after Tatsuya reminded me that that he's over there in that back room, which I guess is dark right now, whatever. I want to grab her and take her over to him real quick.
All right, as you pick her up and take her into the back room, Tatsuya still yelling out until you get to the doorway. "Hey! Oh dear. Someone's hurt. Bring her here, bring her here."
Yeah, put her
And-
right up to him.
And he reaches down and puts his lips on her forehead and begins speaking, this golden light kind of emanating out of his mouth. You can see her eyelids begin to flutter and then open, and she takes a deep breath. What the hell just happened? And he just seems to be beaming over her, smiling, eyes closed, happy that she's okay. And Tammy looks at you like confused and kind of like slowly scoots her way away from the old guy. Is there never a moment of safety around you people? She's gonna kind of just walk past you.
Oh, poor.
So I want to go over and see if Tammy's starting to come to.
What he does, that's what
That
we're
was
just doing
just-
with
yeah.
Tatsuya. Boogie took
All
her over
right.
to Tatsuya and Tatsuya healed her. You currently see
Okay.
Tammy storming out of that room. Not storming out, but like walking out. Kind of disgruntled, I think. And she's going to make her way halfway up the stairs, hiding behind this little stone beam, protecting herself from any shrapnel or any whatever's next from you guys.
I want to go up to her and I want to give her 2 of the vials, but I want to do it quietly, of the healing potions and tell her that they're very potent and I bought her 2 of them and to use them with care. And then I'm going to return back to everybody else.
She nods, thank you. Cremina approaches Calamity and says, How does this map work, if you don't mind me asking?"
Don't know. Just know it's magical and Mistra has it.
I'm gonna kind of just look kind of wide-eyed at Clemency for a second. So is Sandman just gone now? Is he just no longer a threat?
With any luck, at least if this map is accurate and it doesn't somehow, I don't know, miss him, he should be gone.
Well, I guess the question is this is I think we kind of determined this map only shows this world. Like he could still be on another plane of existence, right?
Yes, that's possible.
"Can you search even people with this?" Cremina says.
Mm,
Yes.
yeah, I suppose so. We searched the ancient red dragon and I think one other thing.
Would you mind searching for one name for me?
Sure. Wait, how is Cell looking? Was like he just hurt, or is he unconscious making saving throws?
Celatami is like sitting there grabbing what appears to be maybe some busted ribs, but he is breathing.
Okay.
Emus is gonna go over to Tommy and start patching him up.
And I would look back to Cremina and waiting her to tell me the name.
And he looks at you appreciatively, Emus, and Celatami says, in very broken common, should have taken death by talking.
That's funny.
She whispers to you, he is the leader of the Chosen of Shar. His name's Arkan Abzu.
Emus is gonna kind of shoot a look over at her, like, "What are you doing?"
I would say that end of the thing. Seeing if it zooms in anywhere.
As you say Arkan Abzu, the map withdraws from the Shade Enclave, where over by Selgaunt, and begins making its way towards the Dalelands, and then zooming in this wooded area north of Shadowdale. A small
Oh, so
beacon.
not even that far
Small
from us.
a small beacon appears to light up. There's a small opening, probably a few miles. It's the direction that your instructors had went, where that lightning had came from and all that lantern disturbance came from, with the hooded lantern sending the distress signal. And that in that direction, you can see in the northern part of that wood opening, and some kind of stone structure, maybe some kind of ruin that he's standing in front of. But you can't see who he's with or anything, but you see this beacon lighting up for him.
Like, how far away does it look from us?
And
Is it like
Hermina
miles?
looks
Is it-
petrified. So probably, yeah, maybe. Let me map it out real quick. I don't want to lie to you.
Is it? Yeah, so it's like a distance that we should probably go right now and see what's going on.
No rest for the weary, I tell ya.
Well, the past couple sessions, we've had some time to relax a little bit.
But that
think I will-
hasn't even been 24 hours.
That's true. It hasn't.
I think I'll do my second wind.
So it's about 15 to 17 miles northeast of you guys.
Okay. Is there any other towns or anything on the map that, like, does it look like he's in a town, or is he just off in the woods?
It appears to be that he is in the woods.
Is that the same direction that all the Feywild stuff was happening from earlier?
No, it is actually in the opposite direction. Well, not opposite, but if one is east, the other is north.
Gotcha.
And Carmina looks mortified, and she looks around at you guys. If he's this close, we have to leave.
Does it happen? Does the is that in the direction of the Underdark? Could he possibly be down in the Underdark?
The map appeared to be just the forest, but Carmina doesn't know, so she's not going to say anything.
Does anyone have knowledge of how the Underdark is overlaid on the underneath the surface?
So Tommy, like, his ear picks up that you're talking about the Underdark, and he kind of like shifts his head to listen to you more intently.
I'm gonna kind of glance at him and kind of point to my map, and then point the dot on the map, and then try to like poke my finger through into it and be like Underdark, Maybe? Question mark.
And his brow furrows, and he nods and he says, "Tunnels," nodding affirmative.
So he could be very well in the Underdark, which doesn't necessarily mean he's nearby. He could be very far away still.